Hello, GCW faithful. It's me, GCW Commissioner, GCW President of the United States, MrGaleer. Now, I just wanted to make my first formal in-person announcement after what was considered one of the most successful GCW pay-per-views in recent memory. That, of course, I'm talking about the GCW election. We had an insane night of action, the longest GCW pay-per-view ever. It was a massive success. We had a few titles change hands. We had just a lot of new stars come out and show us what they were all about. And of course, if you missed any of that, you can go on to youtube.com/@Galeer Championship Wrestling, or you can go on twitch.tv/MrGaleer and you can check out the highlights there. It was a successful show. But of course, that did not come without some things happening, some controversy, if you will. We always try to avoid controversy here at GCW, but some things just have to be unsaid. I think everything happens for a reason, and so I first want to just talk about the events that kind of transpired earlier in the evening. People got injured during our rookie showcase. During Chef's entrance, there was a whole lot of pyro, and we did keep the footage up there so you could see it, because there was no footage of anyone getting injured. But it should be noted that unfortunately there was so much pyro that a lot of our GCW fans were caught in the smoke and the fire of it all, the pyro of it all. And so several throughout the night had to be escorted out of the arena. And for that, we are truly deeply sorry to the fans and the families of those who were hurt. Nobody is dead, despite what you may have heard. There are several that are injured, but will make a full recovery, and GCW will be covering all their expenses. Chef, of course, will be fined accordingly. Our pyrotechnics team will be fined accordingly. And we will make sure that these fans receive the best care possible. Now that that's out of the way, the other controversy of the night, having to do with our presidential championship match that was supposed to only feature Mufasi, Donald Trump, and Kamala Harris. I did something prior to the match that a lot of people may not agree with. I attacked Mufasi in hopes that he wouldn't be in the right shape to compete in this match. Little did I know, I was wrong. He came out and we made it a fatal four-way because he was still good enough to compete. And at the end of the day, we want to give the GCW fans what they want. So we let it happen. At the end of the day, I did come out on top. I am your new GCW president. And again, it just did not sit right with a lot of people. Mufasi wasn't expecting it. None of the commentators were expecting it. This was a solely me thing. But what I'm about to, everything that I do here has been with all of you in the front of my mind. I care more about this brand and its culture and its legacy and paving the way and just creating a bright future for pro wrestling on the internet. And I care about all that more than anybody else that works for GCW. Now, I understand that I'm the commissioner, and with that comes a lot of power, but what some of you might fail to understand is that some sacrifices have to be made for the greater good. And that's exactly what happened at GCW election. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back and watch it. But I took matters into my own hands, and I tried to take him out of the election and insert myself in there. I vowed that if I won, my first executive order would be to fire him immediately, and he chose to not stay down. It could have been way easier for him, but he made a choice that he now has to sit at home and think about. I won the presidency. And now that he's gone, now that Mufasi is gone, you need to learn the truth about him. He'll treat everything like a bit, everything like a joke, but when we broke it off with Dropkick the Commute, it was not a clean break. The relationship between us was very strained, and he had me under his thumb, or so he thought. You can believe that it was an equal thing, but we were far from equal. We were far from on the same playing field. There are messages and there's treatment so vile that I cannot even bring myself to share it with you. Simply put, I was at his disposal, and that's why I left. And the worst part of it is, this was all part of his plan, so that he could keep the Dropkick the Commute Intercontinental Championship. If you don't believe me, go back to the one or two times that I won it. Never received it in the mail. He kept it in his office, never shipped it. I am not the bad guy, okay? So from here on out, GCW changes forever. I know he wanted you to think that his presidency was as good as it got, but it is not. Today we make GCW great again, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Not a bit. We are here to see change for the greater good. On that note, I want to announce our final pay-per-view before the end of this season. February 23rd, Sunday, at 6 p.m., I present to you GCW Cliffhanger. It's going to be streaming live on Twitch. It'll be available on YouTube afterwards. But it's our final show before we swap over to the new 2K25. It's going to be a great show, but we're gearing up towards it in a big way. We're reintroducing the GCW Greatest Wrestling Tournament after nearly 2 years. Last time you saw it, it was in the style of Elimination Chamber matches between 86 people or somewhere in that range of people. This time around, we're going to be doing 6 20-man gauntlet eliminator matches, where the winners of those 6 matches will split off into 2 separate 3-way matches, and the winners of those 2 matches will go on to our finals, like we did last time, in a 60-minute Iron Man match, where the winner of the Greatest Wrestling Tournament, just like our world champion and Spotify champion Eric Teagan, will receive a shot at every single championship in GCW. So we're going to start prepping for that. I will slowly be uploading those individual gauntlet matches as we lead up to the show. But for now, mark your calendars, stay tuned, and please, if you're still sticking around, thank you. We're going to do our best to make sure we put out the best product possible and that there's no cancers polluting it and making a mockery out of what we do. And that's really all I have to say. So thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to me. Thank you for sticking around, and stay tuned for more GCW action. See you guys later.